Hello everyone, or as people in my place say, എല്ലാവർക്കും ഈ വീഡിയോയിലേക്ക് സ്വാഗതം. So today's video is just me talking about some ideas I had for different productions of The Lion King. The main ones are the Lion King Holiday Edition, the Lion King Middle East, and the Lion King India, and the last one is the Lion King Live. So these are four alternate versions of the Lion King Broadway show that I thought of, and I'll be showing you some artwork I made for all of these. So let's begin. The first alternate Lion King production I'm going to talk about is the Lion King Holiday Edition. Now, if you all remember, in 2018, the Disney on Broadway uploaded a video which was basically 2018 April Fool's prank. And this was just the cast of Lion King saying that they were going to bring the show to Antarctica. They showed some costume designs for what some of the characters would look like, most notably Simba and Zazu. And I remember seeing a polar bear inspired outfit as well, and another costume that I don't exactly recall what that was. When I first saw this, I initially came up with designs for a fully fledged Antarctica/winter themed Lion King production. Basically, all that I did was I took the original costumes and I added things like fur trimmings and scarves. I reduced the amount of detail on the costumes. I made the fabric a little thicker. That's it. The original sketches I posted on Instagram many years back. I think the same week that I made them. And subsequently over the years, I sort of redesigned these, reworked these, and I made them more different from the original designs. And eventually I created a new set of designs very recently, I believe a couple of weeks ago, and I'll be showing you these designs now. I'll also have there are also some sketches I made of what the set pieces would look like for this holiday edition. Now, I imagine this version of Lion King would play during the holiday season, specifically late November to first week of January. First, we have Simba here, young Simba as well as teenage Simba. Young Simba has a bracelet as well as an anklet with fur trimmings. It's made of cloth. His pants are made of slightly thicker fabric than usual. His corset will be thick wool instead of the beaded corset. This is the same for all the lion characters. And when Simba becomes king, Rafiki puts a massive fur cape on his shoulders instead of the beautiful African patterned mantle that she puts on his shoulder in the actual show. So that's for Simba's costume design. And in the middle of both of the costume designs, you can see a concept for what the Hakuna Matata jungle looks like. Basically, the palm trees have a layer of snow on all of them. The idea for the set design is that the whole show is it's basically a fantasy version of Africa where it snows. All the animals have evolved to adapt to the snowy environment. They're all the same species. But if you remember in the original April Fool's video they made Zazu a penguin, and I personally thought this was a stupid idea, because if Zazu is a penguin, how is he going to go all across the Pride Lands and find out what's going on and report back to Mufasa? Because penguins are they're very fast in the water but not so fast on land. So I thought I'd keep Zazu a hornbill. We'll get to Zazu as we go. So that's about that for Simba as well as the Hakuna Matata jungle. Next, we have Nala's costume design. Again, Nala gets fur trimmings on her outfit. She also has, instead of the I don't know what it is, it's carbon fiber or what is it? There's a thick necklace type thing that she wears. Instead of that, she gets sort of a neck cover made of wool, I also have shown the elephant graveyard as well as the massive Pride Rock cliff. Both of them have snow on top of them. There's a mistake in the elephant graveyard I noticed only now. That's the rib cage is on the opposite side. The rib cage is supposed to be on our left. I put it on our right. So that's like something stupid I did. I hope you'll forgive me. So that's Nala's costume design as well as some other set designs that I made. Now we move to Mufasa and Sarabi and baby Simba as well. Mufasa gets a giant mantle of fur. His shirt as well as his pants are somewhat thicker. The fabric is thicker. His mane is made of fake fur instead of burnt peacock feathers. Sarabi has bracelets and anklets that have fur trimmings and they're made of cloth as well. Baby Simba wears a cute little sweater. And Pride Rock is this giant mountain that's covered with snow. So that's about Mufasa and Sarabi, Baby Simba, and Pride Rock. Next we have Scar. Now, in the case of Scar, I had a bit of a challenge. When I first designed his costume, I did basically the original costume, except I added a bit of like fur trimmings to the ends of his sleeves. I changed that a bit here. Instead of like bamboo pieces sticking all over his body, I just added like bits of matted fake fur, thick fur that's very messy at his elbows, and I also used that to make his mane. His mane looks a little fuller than what it is actually in the like actual Broadway show. And as is the case with the other characters, the fabric of his costume is a little thicker. One of the original designs I did for him had a scarf. I got rid of the scarf. Instead, I put this beautiful giant furry collar. So when he wears the costume, he wears it like a shirt and he zips it up and the like fur hides the zipper. And then you can see the set design for his cave. The cave has got icicles hanging from the inside, and there's snow on his the like bit of rock that he lies down on when he wants to relax. So that's Scar and Scar's cave. The hyenas are mostly the same, except for the boots. Instead of combat boots, the hyenas wear fur trimmed boots like Kristoff from Frozen. That's the inspiration. The some of the like parts, some of like the hair on the hyena faces are a bit thicker. Nothing too crazy with the hyenas. They are mostly the same. Just the boots are different. That's it. In Rafiki's case, Rafiki has giant pieces of fur that hang from her elbows. I also changed some of the beading on her necklace. Like there's a bunch of giant necklaces she wears. And like with Nala, I gave Rafiki a furry collar as well. And instead of a cloth skirt, Rafiki has a fake fur skirt. So that's all there is to Rafiki's costume. As for her tree, there is icicles that hang from a tree as well. The drawings are all still there, but the drawings have like a layer of ice behind them. Now Zazu, I changed him back into a hornbill for this. The actor who plays Zazu, who like manipulates the puppet of Zazu, he has a scarf. Other than that, his costume is mostly the same. I got rid of the 3-layered sleeves. Instead, it's just 1 layer, and his cuffs stick out from his sleeves, and they have got fur lining. And up here, you can see up on the left. You can see the like ground row mountains. The mountains have a layer of ice on top of them to represent that it's a snowy fantasy version of Africa. So that's Zazu as well as the ground row mountains. Finally, we arrive at Timon and Pumbaa. These guys, I think they are like the most suitable for something like this. Timon wears a scarf, and his puppeteer also wears furry boots like the hyenas. Pumbaa has a thick fur like neck collar made of wool, and his body has got like around his neck as well as the bottom of his body and the sides of his body has got fur trimmings. And so with that, we come to the end of the like Lion King and Antarctica / holiday edition. Now we move to the next production, which is the Lion King Middle East. The Lion King Middle East originally started out as a concept for what the Lion King show would look like if it opened in the UAE. Basically, there's nothing too crazy about these costumes. It's just that I switched out a lot of the like African-inspired elements for outfits that are inspired by the traditional outfits worn by Arabs all over the Middle East, specifically the Gulf region, the Persian Gulf. So instead of beaded corsets, they have like cloth corsets or just tops. Actually, they're just shirts that the actors pull on or over themselves, and some of the masks have like headscarves attached to them. First, we can see Simba, Nala, and Sarabi. Simba wears like something inspired by outfits worn in some parts of the Middle East, mainly by expatriate workers. He wears a kurta kind of top that has buttons. His mask has a headscarf attached to it. His pants and his shirt end at cuffs. The same thing with Kid Simba, except Kid Simba doesn't have a mask. That's it. Nala has a really cool necklace that she wears, and her hair is open. It's not short and cropped like in the original costume. And for Kid Nala, the same thing as well. And like the two buns she has on her head look like proper buns instead of like half circles, moon shapes. As for Sarabi, Sarabi's costume is again, it's got like a zipper at the front, and she also has a nice Arabian inspired like Bedouin style necklace. Now we move to the next set of characters: Mufasa, Zazu, and Rafiki. Zazu and Rafiki look mostly the same as the original costumes. Rafiki has a turban instead of a headband, and again her necklace is inspired by Bedouin jewelry. Mufasa gets a Saracen robe. He gets a Saracen robe instead of the mantle that goes from between his legs up to the back of his collar piece, and he also has a headscarf. Now we move to the bad guys, that is Scar and the hyenas. Again, nothing too crazy going on here. Scar has a turban with a headscarf. The hyenas also, they look exactly the same as the original costume actually, nothing different about them. Finally, we have Timon and Pumbaa. Again, Timon has like, he has like a kurta pajama kind of outfit. Pumbaa also doesn't look that different from the original, except his body. The back of Pumbaa is more, it's not see-through, it's not a cage, it's more full body type thing. Only the neck has like a cage around it. So that's it for the Lion King Middle East edition. Now we have the Lion King India. Lion King so far has played in every continent and most of the like important countries. It even came to the UAE last year. Till date, it hasn't come to India, and I guess it's because India doesn't really have a market for Broadway shows. I think the only two Broadway shows that have played in India are Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast, I think. I'm not sure. Then there was a company that did a stage adaptation of a Bollywood film, a Hindi film that came out in the 60s. Other than that, India isn't too crazy about stage productions. India has their own like tastes, the things that they enjoy. So I guess that's why Disney hasn't tapped into the Indian market for Broadway productions much. But if Lion King came to India, I'd imagine that one of the like promotional material they would use is this logo that I designed. It's basically the Simba face, the lion face from the poster. I combined it with the map of India. So Simba's mane forms the map of India. This is one thing they might use to promote the show in India. The costumes and all are exactly the same as the original one. The kids look like the way they do on Broadway. So do the like when they grow up, Simba and Nala. Then Mufasa and Sarabi also look the same. Rafiki and Zazu, Scar and the hyenas, Timon and Pumbaa, all of them look the same. The only difference would mainly be in like the set design. I prefer the Pride Rock that comes up from under the stage. And my main source of inspiration for the set design is the set design of the Los Angeles production from 2000. So there's the like single smooth Pride Rock that comes from under the stage, and it's got all the like deleted musical numbers, Morning Report, the first half of Madness of King Scar, as well as musical interludes for Chow Down and Can You Feel the Love Tonight. So those are my ideas for an Indian version of the Lion King Broadway show. The next concept, the last concept I have, is something called the Lion King Live. This started out as my concept for a high school production of the Lion King musical. I've seen videos of like school kids do the Lion King show. Sometimes they try to replicate the costumes like exactly the way they look in the original stage show. Other times they like do their own spin on the costumes. What I came up with was all the characters would have like half masks, including the kid characters. And I created some additional animals for the show, like a pair of buffalo, wild buffalo, as well as I think ostriches. So that's that for the original version of the Lion King Live. I used some of these concepts to design what eventually became the Lion King Live, especially when it comes to the costume design. Now, as for the set design, I had an idea for something called the Lion King Special Edition. Now, what this is an animated movie that combines some of the like design concepts from the Broadway show as well as the film. And I created some character designs as well as set designs for this version of the story, Lion King story. I decided to combine my Lion King high school production concept with this one, and I also was inspired by what they did with Sound of Music in 2013. They did a TV version of the show, the way it originally played on Broadway. And I thought, if Sound of Music could work like this, why not Lion King? I mean, Lion King now is literally a money magnet for Disney. It's such a lucrative IP, so why wouldn't they do something like this? So, and I decided that I'll have a go at designing a TV special version of the Lion King. And that's how Lion King Live came to be. The costume designs aren't very different from the original version, the original show. The only main difference, I think, is that all the characters have, like especially in the masks, if you look, for instance, Simba's mask does not have those rods to which the parts of his mane are attached. Kid Simba has a bit of like blonde in his wig. His hair is like half blonde, half black. As for Mufasa's mask as well, he has like you don't see the like bamboo sticks that make up his mane. It's just fur that is directly attached to the mask, like the corners of the face. The characters also have ears. The male characters have ears that protrude from behind the mane. Scar has a fuller mane. The side characters look more like the realistic counterparts of these animals. For instance, the hyenas look more like real hyenas. The Zazu and Timon and Pumbaa look more like a real warthog, meerkat, and hornbill. I got rid of Rafiki's skirt. And yeah, so that's all there is to say about the costume design for the main characters. I also designed logos based on each of the characters for promoting the show. The first one you see here is Mufasa and Simba. Remember who you are, the Lion King Live. Then I designed logos for the other characters, supporting characters like Nala and Kid Nala, Rafiki, Timon and Pumbaa, Zazu, Sarabi, Scar, and the three hyenas. My favorite of these would probably be Scar and Rafiki. They look cool. Then I also designed some additional characters, like background characters. For instance, there's a leopard who comes during Circle of Life, a trio of Cape Buffalo, a pair of ostriches that look like the real ostrich, not the trickster ones from Just Can't Wait to Be King, as well as what I call a meerkat bicycle. Now, what this is a dancer. She pushes a motorcycle across the stage, and attached to the motorcycle on either side are a pair of meerkat puppets. And as the dancer pushes the puppets along the stage, the meerkats, like, they'll make quick jumping movements, so it looks like they're scurrying across the ground. These animals appear during Circle of Life. The baby Simba doll also has like an actual lion face on it. It's sort of it's just the Rafiki drawing, except I added more realistic looking eyes and I added a mouth as well. Then for Just Can't Wait to Be King, I made the animals look a little more like real animals. I also added some extra characters like a funny leopard, a funny crane. The background has like cool patterns that are like created using computer projection, and all the animals look like you can tell which animal which trickster is. As for Pride Rock is the basic concept is the same as the original Broadway Pride Rock. It comes up from under the stage, it spins around. The only thing is that the original Broadway Pride Rock is around 15 feet tall. This one is twice that height. And the stage also is massive. I'd say about like at least 100 square feet or something. That's how big the stage is going to be. And it's going to be like elliptical, not a rectangle shape. So when they like show a wide shot or something, it look like the background goes on forever, that it's a wide expanse of land. And Pride Rock itself, it's a combination of the Broadway design as well as the movie the way it looks in the movie. So you have the like small bit of rock sticking from the giant rock. During the like final fight scene, Simba and Scar climb up the topmost point of Pride Rock. And the presentation takes place on the part that like sticks out by itself, that is supported by another rock underneath. So that's about Pride Rock. This is another like promotional thing that is also featured in the show itself, Rafiki's painting of Simba. Then this is another new thing I designed. It's basically a boulder that has a branch attached to it, and attached to the branch is a spider web. There is a motorized spider attached to the web, and as the dancer pushes this boulder around, you can see the spider walking around its web. Sorry, I have a stuffed nose. Then we have the elephant graveyard set piece. For this one, I added like an actual rib cage, meaning there are a pair of like massive ribs on either side of the left staircase. You also see giant elephant skulls, and the main pieces of bone, the elephant bones are resting on rocks. They're not just like hanging there by themselves. They rest on rocks, and they spin around to convey like different locations of the elephant graveyard. Some other sets I designed are a more realistic looking canyon for the wildebeest stampede, which is going to look even bigger than how it looks on the Broadway stage. The Mufasa's ghost scene will be spectacular as well. My original idea was that Mufasa's ghost would like shine like the sun, like there would be like rays of light coming from behind him that look like his mane. That I figured that would be a little too much, so I changed that. The waterfall scene also looks a lot more impressive. Instead of just Mufasa's head spinning around, there'll be a full body Mufasa puppet that will fall from the like waterfall. Then you have another giant waterfall for Can You Feel the Love Tonight. It's the waterfall comes out in It's actually created by the Ground Row Mountains. The mountains just like climb up from behind the stage, and then a light projection shows like flowing water that creates the waterfall. And then we have Simba's reflection turning into Mufasa. That is also shown via a light projection. When Simba like looks into the pond, when Rafiki tells him to do that, suddenly we see a projection of Simba's face, a reflection of Simba on like the jungle vines above him. And as soon as Rafiki starts singing the chorus of "He Lives in You," Simba's face becomes Mufasa's face, and then the vines pull up to reveal like the stars turning into Mufasa's ghost. So that's it for the Lion King live concept. I think my favorite version of all of these is the Lion King live, as well as the Lion King India. The Lion King special edition is something that I would like to make as I'm doing my animation course using whatever software I have available. I also believe that if I do a remake of my stop motion Lion King, I should take some cues from the ideas I came up with for the Lion King special edition, such as the massive Pride Rock and the like additional ensemble animals. And I also had ideas for exploring other parts of the Lion King universe. For instance, a lot of people have been bugging me about doing a Broadway version of Lion King 1.5 or Lion King 3. And if you want to know what, basically all the characters will look the same. The only additions would be Uncle Max and Ma. So here are their costumes. I had done a series of videos featuring some of the canon as well as semi-canon characters from the Lion King universe if they were adapted for the Broadway stage. So this is Ma and Uncle Max. Then we have the Lion Guard. That's Kion on the left, Fuli, Ono. Ono is a girl, by the way. Bunga is also a girl now. And there's Beshte on the right. So this is the Lion Guard, the way it would look on Broadway. I also did some semi-canon characters, like characters from the Six New Adventures books. Here you can see Mufasa's presentation. That's Rafiki showing baby Mufasa to the animals. And that's Mufasa's parents, Ahadi and Uru. The age difference between Ahadi and Uru is inspired by an artist I encountered online. His name is DJ Coles. He makes amazing Lion King art. If you look him up, you'll find his work. It's absolutely stunning. And some of his work looks like frames from the actual Lion King movies. It's that good. So if possible, please look him up. He is a great artist. I'm not sure if he still makes Lion King artwork, but if he does, more power to him. And then there's another absolutely crazy idea I had. It's inspired by my Lion King India concept. Basically what happened is, after I watched the 2019 remake, I was inspired to write a screenplay for a version of Lion King that took place in India. So I finished writing the screenplay for that, and then I thought, what if I did a Broadway version of this? And as a result, I came up with some costume designs for this version of Lion King. The names are all Indian names. The costumes are all inspired by different cultures and time periods in Indian history. I also did some set designs as well. And I've shown all these in previous videos. So if you want to see them, just go through my videos. You'll find the related videos. And then of course there is my Broadway adaptation of Lion King 2 Simba's Pride that I'm still working on. I haven't done any like extremely detailed artwork featuring the characters from Lion King 2. This picture of Simba and Kiara I have here, I think are the most detailed picture I've done of the costumes. As you can see, Simba's costume is basically a mix of his dad's costume design as well as his own costume design. Kiara is a combination of Simba and Nala's costume designs, and for Kiara and Kovu, what I did was I switched the costume designs for Simba and Nala. So this time, Kovu, the boy, has a skirt, and Kiara has trousers. And I made the costumes a bit more modest as well. None of the characters in Lion King 2 are like like in the original show. They're all like partially shirtless or something. Everyone is fully covered. I don't know why. I just thought it was weird. If I kept like the OG costumes from the show for this one. So that's about it for the other Lion King musical concepts I had. I don't know if I'll post a video anytime soon. I'll be extremely busy this coming month. I'll be like resuming work on Lion King 2, as well as making other artwork. I don't know if you people will enjoy my videos about other like non-Disney stuff I might make in the future. I do appreciate everyone who views my Lion King content, but I also wish people also checked out my other work as well, like non-Lion King stuff. And I hope to see you all in the next video. Please like the video if you enjoyed, comment any suggestions you may have or additional information you would like to share. And until we see each other again, goodbye.